In this 3-part video series, we're going to be going into a deep dive into the flow of Procore tools. Our first video will cover an introduction to the topic, give examples, and crown our king of connected Procore tools. In the second video, we'll go deeper into review multi-step workflows and give you a complete picture of how construction processes are mapped inside of Procore. And in our final video, we'll run over a number of universal features across Procore that can enhance the flow of Procore tools. Let's jump into the flow of Procore tools. People spend a lot of time trying to perfect and master a range of different tools across Procore. And sure, there's some really powerful tools that manage important elements of construction projects. But when it comes to managing construction processes, it's rare that one tool in Procore is enough. So let's be realistic. When you're managing something on your project, it never sits in isolation. There's always multiple steps, there's always the snowball. Let's take an example. You're on site and identify a safety issue during an inspection. This then gets addressed during a meeting, and that action gets assigned to someone to deal with after the meeting, only to realize that there's a scope issue that's come out of that, and now we need to manage the financial impact, which in itself will cause a delay to the progress of works and have a time impact. That's a much more realistic version of the complexities of managing construction projects. Again, nothing sits in isolation. Being aware of the reality of construction processes and activities allows us to take this approach in the way we use Procore to support our projects as well. And there's a range of benefits in using this multi-tool flow approach. These include things like reducing duplicate data entry, maintaining consistency and data accuracy. It saves time across the project lifecycle, and it's focused on moving items through Procore to action as required, and it produces a nice clean breadcrumb trail that we can always follow from the start to the end or the end to the start. This also touched on the concept we often talk about with our customers when using Procore. The aim is to enter it once and start in Procore, then let the system manage the rest, being the Procore tools. Okay, let's start by looking at some of these flows. Now, there is no way we can run through every tool-to-tool connection. It's a great thing to know, there's just so many of them in Procore. But let's just highlight a few, some you may know, some might be new to you. These are simple one-to-one tool connection examples. So you might have one correspondence and you need to turn it into another correspondence. You could also want to create inspections against project equipment in the equipment tool, or potentially create observations from incidents in the course of addressing actions. Some other examples might be to create change events from meetings that are happening on the project, create commitments from your tenders, such as subcontracts to award the works and get moving, or to maybe pull in timesheet information into day worksheets, which will eventually end up as a change event and a variation. This list is by no means exhaustive. The limit of tool-to-tool connections and flow is comprehensive across Procore. So let's cover the next section where we look at the top 5 most connected tools so you can take advantage of them. Okay, so that was looking at things from a one-to-one perspective. Now let's count down the top 5 most connected tools in Procore. We're going to judge most connected based on both tools that they can be created from, as well as tools they can create things into as well. Okay, so coming in number 5 is the observations tool. So with the observations tool, you can create change events. But importantly for observations, you can actually create them from action plans, incidents, inspections, models, and locations. Number 4 is RFIs. You can create RFIs from change events, correspondence, and instruction. And you can also create RFIs from drawings, correspondence, change events, and locations. Coming in at number 3, and I did think this would be higher when we first started looking at this video, but as number 3 is correspondence. So with correspondence, you can create other correspondence, you can create RFIs, and you can also create change events. In terms of creating correspondence, again, we can create them from other correspondence. We can also create them from RFIs, from change events, action plans, and observations. Okay, coming into the top 2, number 2 and a very close second is action plans, one of the most connected tools by far. So with action plans, you can create inspections, correspondence, forms, submittals, meetings, observations, and attachments, including photos and documents. In terms of creating action plans from other items, to some degree this can be created from photos, but generally action plans is really a creator of other actions using record types. And coming at number one, and if you've got the financials, you'll know this is no surprise, the winner is change events in terms of being the most connected tool in Procore. And let's run through that list. So from change events, you can create commitments, commitment variations, head contract variations, budget changes, and request for quote. And you can also create change events from commitments, coordination issues, correspondence, day worksheets, emails, estimating, head contract, instructions, meetings, observations, and RFIs. It's quite the mouthful. But clearly there's lots of really well connected tools across Procore, and definitely if you've got the financials, change events is definitely one of those. I often call change events the bridge between Procore project management and Procore financial management. It is really what connects those two parts of the product. So now that we've gone through this, what does it mean for you? What can you do with this information in terms of the most connected Procore tool? Well, here are the things I recommend you action based off this information. Number one, make sure these tools are configured really well, both at the project and company level. Make sure your teams are well trained on these tools, and also build out reports focused on the activity of these top 5 tools. Make sure you use the origin functionality in reporting, where you can actually identify where this particular thing originated from, what tools it created from originally. And this will allow you to follow the breadcrumb trail in reporting as well as you can in the tools natively. And we really strongly encourage, and again, something we always say to our customers, whenever you've got something that needs to be dealt with on a project, always start in Procore and especially focus on these tools, and then leverage that tool-to-tool connectivity to move that process naturally through the Procore tools. Okay, so that's part one of the flow of Procore tools, including crowning our king of connected tools in change events for Procore. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll go deep into reviewing multi-step workflows to give you a complete picture of how construction processes are mapped in full inside of Procore.